Hey guys, it's Josh here and welcome to my overview video for my next custom content add-on, which is for the Adventure Awaits expansion pack. Before we begin, I hope you guys are having a good start to your year and had a good end of the year. Really excited to see what The Sims has in store for us this year. But yeah, also if you didn't know, this add-on was released 2 weeks early for my supporters over on Patreon. So feel free to support me on there if you'd like to gain early access to my future custom content creations. Anyway, let's just jump right into build mode and see what this add-on is all about. Here we are inside build mode now, and I'll just start off with probably the more exciting thing of this add-on, which is the bunk bed version of the single bed that came with the pack. There was actually 2 sets of beds in the pack, so let me just turn the filter on. Yeah, we did get the metal framed bed with the matching double bed, as well as the single bed with the double bed version. So thank you EA for the full set. But then we got a bunk bed version of this set, but we didn't get one for this one. So I went ahead and created a bunk bed version, and it works just as any other bunk bed in the game does, and you can put the bed underneath. One thing I did need to do was to slightly increase the width of the bed when turning it into a bunk bed. And the unfortunate side effect of that is that the original single bed version of the bed no longer fits nicely underneath. So I did have to make a new version of the single bed which has the frame slightly wider so it can fit perfectly underneath the bed. So yeah, that's just information in case you end up trying to use this bed and figure out how it doesn't really line up properly. There is a new version of the single bed built for the bunk bed, but of course you can also use it by itself if you want to have a slightly wider bed frame. But apart from the frame width, it's just exactly the same as the original bed. Anyway, let's just move on to the other objects. So now we have the loveseat version of the sofa armchair set and the sofa version of the loveseat armchair set, and I really love this one particularly. I love the pattern on it, and I always love when we get really nice patterns, but also we get basic single color swatches, because sometimes you just want to have a simple object in the corner. You don't want it to steal too much attention. But yeah, I always love when we get those types of options. But yeah, oh, I probably should mention this. I always forget to mention at the start of my videos, but the swatches of every object are the same as the original object that it's based off of. So you can rest assured that if there's a particular swatch you like, it'll be available with the add-on version as well. Moving on to the surfaces now. So we just have a new 2 tile wide and 1 tile wide version of the 3 tile wide dining table, as well as a 2 tile wide version and 3 tile wide version of the single table. So I've just gone ahead and completed the dining table sets. And also I saw that one of the desks in the game was supposed to be some sort of folding desk, which I thought was a really cool concept. So I just went ahead and created a unfolded version of the table so that you can use it as a larger desk or a dining table or something. I categorized it as a desk and a dining table. It functions as I guess, technically a 1 tile table, since there are 4 potential spots for the chairs. But as you can see, it's not actually 1 tile wide. So it is slightly larger than a single table. I always love making unique size options for dining tables, since sometimes the 1 tile tables are actually quite small, but then a 2 tile wide table is also, it could be a little bit too wide. So now you just have this sort of 1.5 tile single table. And I do kind of like the concept of having the chairs off center slightly, since obviously you can't really sit there. Your legs have nowhere to go. But yeah, moving on now to the more desk options. So I just made a slightly slimmer version of the coffee table and turned it into a nice little desk. And also we just have, when I first saw this, I thought this was some sort of desk or table, but when I looked at it closer, I realized it probably wouldn't be one because it's got the raised edge. So I guess that wouldn't really make for a good desk or dining table or anything like that. So I just went ahead and took away one edge and turned it into a desk. So yeah, quite simple, a small 1 tile desk option now. And then lastly, for the surfaces, we just have a smaller end table version. I guess you could still use it as an accent table, but it's just the one tile version of the accent table that we got. And with clutter slots, obviously. Moving on to the wall decorations now. I love how bulky this shelf set is, but as with everything EA seems to make these days, it's like combined object. So, and sometimes I don't want to use both of them. So I went ahead and separated them so you can now use them individually. I know for a fact that when I want to use this item, it'll probably just be like one piece of it because I don't like combined objects that much. Same with all these other wall decorations we've got. We've got combined versions of so many things for some reason, but I went ahead and separated each of them so you can use them individually. I particularly like this one because it looks like a little map. And then I also separated these landscape paintings. I think the swatches changed it a bit. Yeah, there's like some dogs and whatnot as well. Actually really cute. I'm not sure why there's a dog in it because this isn't Sims 4 cats and dogs, but yeah, you can have some more variety now. And then also we have the combined wall decoration of all the pots and pans. I really like these and would definitely want to use these in all my kitchen builds, but it might be a little bit difficult since it's a combined object. So I went ahead and separated all of them once again, and I definitely know for a fact that I'll be using at least these ones a lot near the stove. And also lastly, for the separated wall decorations, we just have the separated version of the two paddles. Might be nice. So yeah, I like the various swatches, but now you can mix and match to make your own little combined version, I suppose. But yeah, that's it for the interior stuff. So let's go upstairs now and have a look at the build mode things that we have. Oh, actually, and there's also a couple of curtains. We'll get to that later. As with my previous base game add-on, I went ahead and created archway versions of all the various doors in the pack, since we did get a couple of archways for certain doors, I believe, in this pack, but I think it was like, yeah, this is the archway that matches one of the one tile doors. Oh, if I can find it, here it is. Yeah, we got one of these, but I think that was it. So I'll just double check. I don't want to spread misinformation. But yeah, this was actually the only archway we got in the pack, apparently. But yeah, that is no longer the case since I went ahead and made new versions of archways based on the existing doors. As usual, the same swatches are present. And then also I made a couple of new window options. So I saw that the single tile window was like the full wall height, but the 2 tile wide version was not as tall. So I went ahead and made a taller version of the 2 tile wide window, and I made a shorter version of the 1 tile wide window. And then lastly, for the windows, I just made a individual triangular piece. I definitely knew that I would be using this window underneath triangular roofing because it's angled perfectly for that. So if we turn around, you can see I made a little example of the window in action. Since I know you could use move objects to place the, like, I know it wouldn't let you by default, but you can obviously use move objects, but I felt like the freedom to have the triangular piece separately was a lot more interesting, because you can even just have it by itself like that, maybe like a door or something even. And also I just made a 1 tile wide version of each gate that was in the pack, since I don't like when we get only 2 tile wide versions, because sometimes the gate isn't even big enough to, I mean the fence isn't even big enough to fit a 2 tile wide gate, so I just made a 1 tile wide version to just increase the versatility of the fence set, because I really like these 2 fence sets actually. Like, this one would be perfect for a farm. And then lastly, for the stuff in the add-on, we just have a couple of new additional pieces of the curtain set in the pack. I really love the curtain set. I only have one height visible, but the set is complete. I have included the corner pieces for each individual height, but just for display purposes, I'm using the basic height. But yeah, the corner piece for just the bar itself has been included, and the corner piece for each height has been included. So you can now make use of this set a bit more easier. I did like the fact that we were given a bar. So hopefully that will be more common going forward. I do believe that For Rent also had something like this, which I love. And then, yeah, the corner piece just makes it so you can have the curtain go around the corners and make it pretty much fully modular now. So yeah, that's really all there is to the curtain set. It's a lot simpler than the previous ones because EA have actually already given us part of the set already, so I didn't have to do as much work. That's pretty much all there is to this add-on. I will include the download link in the description below. Also, I mentioned this in my previous video, but my custom content add-ons are all available now on CurseForge, so feel free to download on there if that's something that you prefer. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a wonderful day. Bye guys!